Hey everybody, John here with Cruiser Customizing for our last day of the Indian Chieftain build. We're going to work our way through the last box of Kuryakyn goodies, and anything that's not covered in chrome will be before we get finished. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start covering this thing in chrome right up front. We're going to take this oil cooler cover, it slips in, it's just got a couple plates here on the back. They've got notches in them, so you slide it over top, kind of clamshell it down, tighten those down, and it's going to hold everything in place to keep it from rattling around. We've got some foam there on the inside. As you can see, this has the nice Kuryakyn chrome finish, just like everything we're going to install today. So let's go ahead and get this thing on here. Next up in our box of goodies, we're going to be covering the left side of this motor from front to back in some chrome. We've got a starter cover that goes right up front here. It's going to be held in place by a bolt. It's got some foam to make sure it's not going to be bouncing around causing any excessive noise. Next up, we've got a primary cover, so that's going to cover the entire top portion of the bottom cases of the engine here. That's going to be held in place by that 3M tape. Couple things to note there: make sure you activate the tape, peel those off, but before you stick it into place, use that supplied alcohol wipe to make sure everything is free from any grease, dirt, or debris, to make sure it's going to hold on there for the long haul. And then we've got our dipstick cover. Again, 3M tape, that's going to go right here on the back. Now, I have found it easier to actually do these in a specific order. I'll do the starter and the dipstick cover first, and then I'll put the primary cover on because it's going to meet right up to those two components. So let's go ahead and get these thrown on here. More chrome for the Indian Chieftain? Heck, why not? Let's go ahead and throw on something for our passenger. These are the passenger floorboards. They stick with that Spirit theme. They're chrome. They've got some rubber cushions on here to isolate some of that vibration, and they're going to look great on this ride. On the back, you're going to see that we've got 3 different mounting locations and a mount-specific bracket made just for our Indian Chieftain. Make sure you get the right bracket to go with your ride. These floorboards are going to fit any ride out there. Couple things to note on these: make sure your spears are facing forward because that's where we're throwing them. Also, when you go to remove the OEM foot peg on here, it's going to be a pain in the butt the first time you do it. These things are held in place on your Victories and Indians with this little bitty spring retainer. If you do manage to get it off without completely mangling the thing, chances are it's going to shoot halfway across the shop, so just take your time. The only way to get them out of there is with a dental pick, unless you chop them in half and order new ones. So if you take your time, you can remove these, and it's not that big a deal. Just use that dental pick. You'll work it around the back here, and if I pop off this peg, you'll actually see how those are installed. there's just a very, very small groove going around the peg that holds that foot peg into place. Now we are going to be reusing these, so make sure you hold on to them. Same thing with those retainer clips. So let's go ahead and throw these floorboards on. We've already installed chrome on the left side of this motor from front to back, so we can't leave the right side alone. Pretty much the only thing that's not chrome on this side is right here by the tappet. So we've got a tappet chrome cover. This one's going to be attached with a couple factory bolts here. You just take those out, put this one in place, and you're good to go. That's a super easy install. We're also going to be throwing on the brake pedal cover and the shifter. These are actually going to replace the factory units that are here. We've just got a couple bolts that holds everything in place. They're in the same spear theme, so it's going to continue that theme throughout the rest of the bike. They've got that awesome chrome finish from Kuryakyn, plus the front and the back side of the shifter are covered in rubber, so it's going to isolate some of the vibration. But the big thing here is it's not going to tear your shiny boots up. So let's go ahead and get this one knocked out. All right, everybody, we've only got 2 products left to throw on our Chieftain. First up, we've got these new toe rests. They're gonna clamp onto that factory crash bar. They include a couple bolts to hold that thing in place. You just adjust it for whatever height is gonna be most comfortable for you. Also, we're gonna get rid of these really plain looking floorboards and replace them with something in the spear theme to match the rest of the bike. These are actually the easiest floorboards I've seen to replace to date. Couple things to note here before you install it. Kuryakyn's going to include some spacers to step that away from the motor just a bit. Make sure you put those on because these new floorboards are a bit more wide than the original. Also, whenever you go to take this original floorboard off, you're going to reuse that bottom portion of the mounting. So all you need to do is grip it and rip it. It's going to let you pull off the factory floorboard. If you look at the bottom, it's just got these rubber buttons that holds everything in place. Same deal here, right on the bottom of the new Kuryakyn pieces. When we go to put that into place, you can put a little soapy water on there, grab some pliers from the bottom and gently pull it through. It's going to lock everything into place. So let's get this thing wrapped up. right, everybody, we're finished up. We've essentially got the entire Kuryakyn catalog on this beast. We've got a driver's backrest for comfort. Out back and up front, we've got LED lights to make you more visible. Adding to that more visibility, we've got chrome on almost every single part of this bike. Plus, we've got that entire spear theme set going on this beast. We've got the grips and the floorboards for driver and passenger that all match along with those tabs for those controls on the brake and also the shifter. So this thing looks absolutely fantastic. Before I take it out for its maiden voyage, I got to make sure I get my grubby fingerprints off of this thing. So we'll just use a little Windex, wipe everything down, and make sure it's gonna shine. But that'll wrap us up for today. If you all have any questions on any of these Kuryakyn components, please let me know in the comment section below. As always, you can subscribe, lower right-hand corner, click on it, and you're not gonna miss any of the upcoming videos we're gonna have. If you wanna check out all these Kuryakyn accessories, head over to cruisercustomizing.com. You can check out the entire catalog. If you don't have an Indian, they're gonna have something for your cruiser. Definitely check it out today. Until next time, my name's John. Please ride safe.